It's holiday season, and this year, like every other, I've helped produce a holiday show for my home band, the Minnesota Orchestra. If you've been following this series, you'd know from episode 2.5 that I've been hosting live TV broadcasts here since September. It's been an incredible learning process to work behind the microphone, but for this concert, I would be on the podium as well. Somehow the holidays become real to me only when I see the festive lights on the stage and look out to hear the genial voice of my friend, storyteller Kevin Kling. Guys, this was the first concert I conducted with the orchestra since the lockdown began last year. In any other year, I would have had a concert nearly every month here. Wandering around backstage before the rehearsal, seeing what everyone was up to, has always been one of my rituals, and it was nice to be able to do it after so long. Looking out on the stage, a stage I know so well, brings up a lot of memories. And looking out to the empty hall is familiar and comforting, a real sense of homecoming. But of course, it's different because those seats in the audience will remain empty. And so I head off to a tech rehearsal. We're in a tech rehearsal. We're setting lights and sound. Yes. Sorry. Thumbs up. You can't hear that, but I have someone in my ear. Here is the stand-in. And we're about to start this little read-through. There is a lot to do. We have to check camera angles from the several spaces from which I'll be hosting during the brass and woodwind sections. We're checking on the IFB. We're coordinating with our guest poets and writers and storytellers who'll be speaking from all around the hall. And yes, this is totally a Baby Yoda mask. I love The Mandalorian. Grogu forever. It's the first time I'll be conducting the orchestra since March. And I don't know how to feel about that. I actually had the first rehearsal this morning, and it's just this strange mix of, it feels like it was yesterday that I was here, and it also feels like a lifetime ago that I was here. And it's sort of interesting to hold both of those ideas and those feelings together, and to be able to sort of tolerate the incongruity of that those two feelings can exist together. This concert has gone through so many iterations. It began as a full orchestra concert. Then the repertoire had to be changed because of this COVID surge here in Minnesota, and then changed yet again so that now we have a woodwind quintet, a brass quintet, and a string ensemble. So it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. So, that's just part and parcel of the COVID world, and, part of the challenges that all arts organizations are dealing with. In any case, it's going to be a beautiful program. I'm really looking forward to it, and we have such great writers and poets and actors, and I think it's going to be incredibly moving. But it's been a really tough process getting to this point, but I'm absolutely grateful to be in a position where I'm performing and creating and producing, and just being part of the big musical healing process that I think we all need. We were back the next morning for our second rehearsal. It's always amazing to me how lighting can transform a space, how it can create atmosphere and emotion. We did our sound check, and the rehearsal began with the chamber music portions where I wasn't conducting. It's kind of fun to listen over the house PA. I think that's Jingle Bells. Here's something that most people probably don't think about. There's a score reader who calls the camera shots. Adam is super focused, and it's been awesome working with him. COVID protocols create technical challenges when we want to incorporate speakers into our broadcasts. They can't be on stage, so they're shot from different spots around the house. Remote cameras are used throughout the hall to shoot both the orchestra and our guest artists. Lighting design is created for both as well, and it all needs to be coordinated within the context of a live broadcast. I know a lot of orchestras are doing some sort of streaming content, but I don't know of any who have made the leap to live broadcasting. So we're about to start a rehearsal for the broadcast. I am in my dressing room. Here's Pinkerton, he's waiting patiently. Essentially, there's 4 pieces this week, and I host between each of them. We ran a cue to cue this morning, and I think we're ready to go. I'm going to take my position. As I mentioned, COVID protocols limited the numbers and types of musicians we had on stage together, so we had a woodwind quintet and a brass quintet that I didn't conduct. I loved hearing them rehearse though, particularly this bluesy take on the Sugar Plum Fairy. Did I mention how wonderful it is to hear the buzz of conversation and tuning and warming up on stage before rehearsal? It's a particular kind of energy that I miss as we're all getting ready to work together to create something wonderful. It's really my happy place. And walking off stage and through the familiar backstage corridors makes me feel so at ease and at home. As much as things in the hall were feeling more normal, the rest of the world clearly isn't. Minneapolis has an extensive skyway system to keep you from having to walk out in the cold. This was a Friday afternoon at 4:30, a prime time pre-COVID for people to be leaving work and heading out for their evening activities. Not today. It's certainly a holiday season like no other, but all the more reason to create some moments of joy. Okay, we're 5 minutes out. It is go time. I'm doing an intro for this concert. Then I come back, small ensembles, and then the string orchestra goes on. Super excited. The woodwind quintet was starting its set and our brass players were on deck. Hey! Hey! Yo! It's the familiar activity of a backstage at showtime. That pre-performance energy and collegiality is something I love. Holiday wishes?
Oh,
any?
Yeah. Many.
Have I mentioned that it's seeing my colleagues in person and the casual conversations and joking backstage that I really miss the most? And of course, as always, Pinkerton was being a perfect dressing room dog, asleep in his little nest. And so, we made a holiday show, and there was much rejoicing.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I almost made the whole song. TV's clear, thank you.
And what would a holiday show be without a little celebration?
All you have to do is say, I wish there were some nutmeg. Yes, it's a different
So
vibe
funny.
back here.
It was the best vibe. I think it's hard to reflect on what's happened this year, and I'm really closing out this season with this concert. I've had 5 performances, 3 different concerts total since March 13th. And, I think I was talking to someone saying it would have been 50 in a normal year. And it just changes your perspective to be where we are right now and to view the pandemic and the first lockdowns from 2020 hindsight and to sort of see how little we knew and how we were operating with so little information. And here we are, a lot of orchestras doing the best that they can, given the circumstances. And I really am proud of the Minnesota Orchestra for, making the investment in the equipment, setting themselves up for these live broadcasts and doing them in such a beautiful way. I think what this pandemic has forced orchestras to do is to reimagine what their function is within a community. And that's what art is. It should be a way of connecting, not drawing people to where you are, but taking a step towards where they are. It means creating experiences that involve music and the sense of connection that music brings and the sense of power that a group of people playing music brings. And that really is essentially at the core of the orchestra. It's those so many people of different tastes, personalities, backgrounds, schools of music, schools of playing to come together and create something that is far more than any of us, that is a sum that's greater than the parts. And that is the point of an orchestra. You can see Pinkerton back there looking for more snacks. Anyway, I'm just rambling, and those are my thoughts. I need to keep packing. CNN is on as I have it on when I'm packing. It's 10 o'clock and I'm super tired, but I just want to get those thoughts out before I forgot. Pinkerton eventually found the snack he was looking for, and of course fell promptly asleep after eating it. It was amazing to be back with my friends in this orchestra, an ensemble I've been with for over a decade. And amidst all the uncertainty we faced, I deeply feel the importance not just of music, but of the connection it creates. Connection on stage is a little hard right now. We're socially distanced, wearing masks. I can't help but think of holiday seasons past, unmasked and smiling. Pinkerton asleep on stage during a vocal rehearsal. A stage packed with players and singers. The energy of a live performance. And most of all, the camaraderie, the connection. So much has happened on this stage. Over the years, I've been able to work with so many musicians, amazing artists across so many genres. I've met some of them for the first time on this stage, and those experiences of creating music together brings us together. Strangers become new friends, and new friends become old friends, some of whom I've known for nearly 2 decades. We have a connection, this orchestra and I, and when there's connection, there's also trust, which has allowed me to do some crazy and innovative things, like have half a dozen chefs on stage to cook while the orchestra plays, or to make a recording with a rap artist and release it on a hip-hop label. Projects that have widened our world as musicians and as artists. Projects that have brought me lasting friendships. I feel a connection with the audiences too, and I can't tell you how much I miss them. I miss the energy on stage as we get ready for a show. I miss the excitement of a full house. I miss the exuberance of a lot of people having a great time. I miss those moments of joy on stage. I miss sharing Pinkerton with all of his friends. And most of all, I miss the humor, the camaraderie, the closeness of this big, crazy family that is the orchestra. But for now, I'm just happy to be in front of my friends, proud of what we put together that night, and so grateful for a team that's worked so closely to create a moving experience. We've created the beauty of connection together, and that's all that matters.